All right, horns and cymbals.
So when you talk about meat and drink, it's connected to the sacrificial system, right? So having that said,
Y'all ready? Hallelujah.
Today's Psalm of Praise is going to be read out of the book of Psalms, verses 1 through 5. Shout hallelujah when you get there.
Which chapter?
Psalms 103.
Oh. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Bless Yahuwah, O my soul.
Bless Yahuwah, O my soul.
And all that is within me, bless his holy name.
And all that is within me, bless his holy name.
Bless Yahuwah, O my soul.
Bless Yahuwah, O my soul.
And forget not all his benefits.
And forget not all his benefits.
Who forgive all thine iniquities.
Who forgive all thy iniquities.
Who healeth all thy disease.
Who healeth all thy disease.
Who redeemeth thy life from destruction.
Who redeemeth thy life from destruction.
Who crowneth thee with loving kindness and tender mercies.
Who crowneth thee with loving kindness and tender mercy.
Who satisfies thy mouth with good things.
Who satisfies thy mouth with good things.
Say that thy youth is renewed like the eagle.
So that thy youth is renewed like the eagle.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Shema, 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 Yahuwah, Elohim, Shema, 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 Yisrael, Yahuwah, Elohim, Shema, 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 Yisrael, Yahuwah, Eloheinu, Echad. All right, hallelujah. You know what? This was a good song because it made me think of a song. And I know some of y'all know that song, right?
Yeah. I was thinking of it.
You were thinking of it too?
Yeah.
You want to try it?
We can try it.
Okay.
It's, go back to bless the Lord. Bless Yahuwah.
Right, exactly. That's what
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
saying. You know it.
Yeah.
Yep. Right.
Oh, my soul.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, my soul, and all that is within me, bless His holy name. Come on, I like y'all in the church. Bless Yahuwah, oh my soul, and all that is within me, bless His holy name. He has done great things. He has done great things. Bless you, Lord. Bless us. So, bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me. Bless His holy name. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was awesome. Add a new one to the repertoire. Boy, that's good. Yeah. All right, so we in Rock chapter 13. Yes, chapter 13. Oh, was it 12? It's 12. Dang correct. So we in 12. Sure enough. I remember that last verse. These are strange. Yeah. Hallelujah. This is short here. Chapter 12. When thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest, so shalt thou be thankful for thy benefit. Do good to the righteous man, thou shalt find a recompense. If not from him, yet from the Most High. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that give no alms. Give to the righteous man, help not a sinner. Do well unto him that is lowly, but give not unto the unrighteous. Hold back your bread, and give it not unto him, lest he overmaster you thereby. For else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good you shall have done unto him. For the Most High hates sinners, and will repay vengeance unto the unrighteous, and keep them against the mighty day of their punishment. Give unto the good, help not the sinner. A friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity. In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved, but in his adversity, even a friend will depart. Never trust your enemies, for like as iron rust, so is the wicked. Though he humble himself, and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. Thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast white a looking glass. Thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by you, lest when he have overthrown you, he stand up in the place. Neither let him sit at the right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my word, and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or as such as come not with beasts, with wild beasts? So one that go to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sin, who will pity? For a while he will abide with you, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaks sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagines how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon you, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help you, yet shall he undermine you. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his counsel.
Yeah.
Everybody got their own agenda.
Yep.
You know what it might be.
Yep. Who knows what lies in the heart of man, but the Most High. That's what he said. God. Man, as I live and breathe, may the Most High on this Shabbat day strike me down right at this altar if I'm lying. But I never read in advance the Sirach that we're dealing with. And it's going to always be something in there that's going to point directly to the class. Now, a lot of my class, I done already did a lot of them, so I don't have to work on new classes as much as I did when I first started teaching. But this morning I did, because the Most High said that, look, you're going to have to bring this one. That's why, however you put about it, you're going to have to bring this. And then we go into Sirach, and he says, that verse 3 says, there can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. Like, man, this is exactly what we're going to do. And it's going to be a short one, y'all. It's going to be a short one, but I did not write down a lot of passages that for this today. But I'm going to start this in Genesis, the 4th chapter. Genesis, the 4th chapter. Man, I'm going to give it. Genesis, 4th chapter. Genesis, 4th chapter. Start this off at verse 1.
Genesis chapter 4, verse 1. And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived, and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from Yahweh. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground, offering unto Yahweh. And Abel, he also brought of the firstling of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And Yahweh had respect unto Abel and to his offering, but unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. Cain was very wroth, his countenance fell. And Yahweh said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? Why is thy countenance fallen? If thou dost well, shall you not be accepted? If you do not well, sin lie at the door, and until you shall be his desire, thou shalt rule over him.
Wow, that is heavy. So much to draw from this passage, man. This is like the mind of Yah letting us know that he do require offering. He do require offering. It ain't just, and keep in mind when we read this, what laws were given that we can read about at this time. We know that some laws were given, even if we can't read specifically what laws were given. But he likened the fact, and it's so crazy because you just read that Sirach, and this is what, let me read that again. It says, at the end of that, there can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. That's like, what? And then he says here to Cain, if you do well, shall you not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lies at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. Now, I might have told this story before. I'm gonna tell it again for those who haven't heard it. 2 years ago, this is almost the second anniversary right here. We used to be in a fly. We used to do like it. And it was, I forgot what day of the week it was one morning. I know what it was. I dreamed. I ain't gonna lie. I had a dream. And then this dream, I think the dream was set in Atlanta. I used to live in Atlanta. And we had a class in Atlanta in my dream. And it was so big, I was like, man, it kind of scared me. So when I woke up, I'm like, oh man, wow. I turned to Tonda. I said, Tonda, we got to get a class. Almost on the cry thinking about it. And I said, we got to get a class. We have to get a class. We cannot do this library thing no more. Because this library it does not glorify the Most High. It just don't. The library does not. It's almost like having McDonald's come in here and serve us food, right? And that's what our feast is. It just don't fit, you know. When we try to do other things like feast or whatever, we have to deal with the time of the library. So I looked at her and I was like, man. And I might not even have spoke to her yet because I'm on my phone and I might have been on Craigslist looking for a place where we can have class. And sure enough, I'm telling you, this is all happening in half a day's time. From the time I had this dream, look on Craigslist, and this dude had a place to leave. That dude right over there. And same day, man, I went over and talked to him, and he said, yeah, because it was a tax not tax firm here or whatever. I still got pictures of how it looked before. And I said, man, I want this place. And he said, okay, all right. I said, no, I'm serious. I want this place. He's like, oh, okay. And so we went and got this place just like that. And we got this place. And so when the next Shabbat, when we had class, Cynthia was there and Bill was there. I could remember, I don't remember who else was there. I'm like, y'all, this is our last time here. I finally got on right down. As a matter of fact, the last library we was in was over there on Atlantic Boulevard. I said, yeah. I said, we're gonna be right down here. So, and I say, you know, and I thought to myself, you know, I have to take whatever it is that I got, and give it back to the Most High. Because up until this time, I have been neglectful, not given what the Father required. All these Israelites, they sit around, they debate, well, we don't have to tithe no more, we have to do this. I'm like, you know, it's just messed up because we came out of the church, and when we was in the church, we gave every Sunday, didn't think about it freely. And then now that we come out of that, we like, man, they robbing people in the church or whatever. It's like, man, I'm like, yeah, but guess what though? The flip side of that is that the people are serving who they think is God in their truth. But we come out and we like, well, they're not keeping the commandments, we keep the commandments, whatever. Yeah, but you know, matter of fact, that good. And I didn't even have this in my lesson. I did not have this. Came to me. Watch this. This is Matthew, I think that's 25th chapter. I think that's the Matthew. I might look at it. So I'm just saying, kind of remind me of that. It's 25 or 23. It's that one where, oh yeah. I think it's Matthew 23. Matthew 23. Yeah. Matthew 23 and 23, as a matter of fact. Matthew 23 and 23. Go ahead.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye pay tithe of mint and anise, cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone.
He say, so y'all do pretty much tithes, offerings, and all that. But the other matters of the weightier matters of the law, you leave undone. So that's kind of like the same thing that we say about the people in the church. Y'all paying the tithes and offerings and all that, but y'all not keeping the law. We do the flip side of it. We like, man, this stuff, matter of fact, that goes into another story. I lived in Indianapolis. We had a class there, and there was a brother come to the class, And he came 3 times in a row. And how he found the class was he had found the flyer that I had. And some reason I put a flyer in a mailbox place where we get mail at. And he found it. He came in. This was the older guy too. He come in and he'd sit down. He'd do the same. He'd like, man. And we used to have drinks and everything. We got water and everything. He sat there. He was like, man, I don't know why these churches still be celebrating Christmas. Man, I went into the church last Sunday and I'm in there and he's talking about what the church doing, whatever. I'm like, okay, dude. I told him exactly. I said, the churches do what they do because you've been going there and teach them. That's why they do what they do. Because he was sounding kind of self-righteous in his speech. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, we all did Christmas at one point or another. Huh? Did it? So how you gonna sit here and act like you don't know why they do Christmas? And you're sitting right there in the church. So the third time he came, he did the class and everything. And I said, I ended class after we closed out with prayer, whatever. I said, oh, and to mind y'all, we got a box in back there, if y'all wanna, donate something, whatever, and keep in mind, we're in a business, what do you call that? A business center, for a lack of a better word. I think the term they used was a business park or something. No, it was like
we got different suites.
Yeah, that. It was about 6 different buildings, and they called it a park, a business park. Okay, so right next to me was what was it? The tire, something I can't remember was it. And then right across from me was she had a beauty shop or whatever. So anyway, when I just said that, because again, I don't believe in passing plates. I don't believe in that. That is what they do in church. And that's what they do with people. They really trying to get people. I'm like, no. We serve Yah. We should know within ourselves what we should do. That's just the way I feel. Simple as that. I have to pass some play some music like no. And you don't have to do it like that.
Yeah, because that's given grudgingly.
And I'm gonna read that. But that's just not something that I just ever really wanted to do.
Yeah.
Right. And I know there's some Hebrew Israelite camps that actually do that, but I'm like, no. But yeah. Anyway, when I said that, yeah, there's a box over there, and if you want to give whatever. Dude jumped up, like, hey man, I thought this was supposed to be free.
The world.
I was like, and it was like, you ever had like 100 things you wanted to say and you couldn't even open your mouth and get them all out. It was like, I feel like my throat was like bumping into itself. I'm like, dude, that water that you're drinking is not free. That seat that you're sitting in is not free. That flyer that you read about our class is not free. And we're not even going to talk about this place that we're in. So there's that spot over there. It was some kind of auto center or something there. What part do you think of this was free? So now I'm in a position, in my mind thinking, you could have simply got up and just walked out the door. Came back the next Shabbat, sat down, got up and walked out the door. Ain't nobody robbing nobody here, bro. But the fact of the matter is that this is a ministry. And I was a little bit blessed because in that, someone tell you, it was probably about $300 a month, which is pennies compared to here, But I'll tell you, sometimes here, I ain't gonna lie, some months, it takes 2 of my whole check to be here. And I don't do it begrudgingly, but our household have to go without because sadly, my wife has to pay for some things that I can't pay for. And I really hate that. She hates her job. Anybody from the I ain't gonna throw you out like that, but I wanted to, but I ain't gonna do it. But no, but seriously, but this is just that would just remind me of what Yeshua said here. But going back to that Cain and Abel, man, that whole thing is deep because the Father loves those of us that give of ourselves. He loves that. That's part of true worship to him, okay? Let's go into Proverbs 11 chapter. Proverbs 11 chapter. Let's start this at Proverbs 11 chapter, and we're gonna start this off at the 24th verse.
Proverbs 11, 24. There's that scatter and yet increase. There's that withhold more than is meat, but it tends to poverty.
Now, the way this reading of King James Version, ironically, because I love the KJV, the way that verse reads, it doesn't really give what in our way of speaking the same understanding. Anybody reading out of any other version of King James Version? What verse you reading out of? How do scriptures read in that verse?
There is one who scatters.
Oh, is you scattered too?
Yet increase
okay.
More.
Oh, wait.
More.
You got another version back there?
Oh, I didn't bring it.
You didn't bring it? Okay. And any other version said there's one that give it. There's one that he used another word besides give it too. But that's what the scattering is. Like make it rain is what he's talking about.
Okay.
There is that, and that's what the scattering is talking about. And yet increase it. He did, but yet he increased. And there is that one that withholdeth more than is meat, but it tended to poverty. 25.
Liberal souls shall be made fat.
What's yours say for liberal?
Generous being.
See, I love the way KJV kind of left me a warning in this. But it says the generous or the liberal soul shall be made fat. Go ahead.
He that water shall be water also himself.
Man, go ahead.
He that withhold corn, people shall curse him. Blessing shall be upon the head of him that selleth.
Wow, hallelujah. Hallelujah. That's out of Proverbs concerning that, and that is so true. And that's the reason why I'm like, man, we gotta get a place, man, so we can really serve the Most High, spirit and truth, all the way across the board. Serve them. Man, let people here in Jacksonville know that there is a Yah, and it's time for his people to wake up. All right, let's go into the book of Mark. In the book of Mark, I didn't want to read this at this time, but up here we're going to read it, okay? Mark 12. I was just copying down scripts. Usually I have a specific order in my scripts. This time I didn't. This is short. Mark 12 and verse 41.
41?
Uh-huh.
Mark 12, 41. And Yahshua sat over against the treasure. Behold, how the people cast money into the treasure. And many that were rich cast in much. And there came a certain poor widow, and she threw in 2 mites, which make a bargain. And he called unto him his disciples and said unto them, truly I say unto you, that this poor widow has cast more in than all they which have cast into the treasure. For all they did cast in of their abundance, but she of her want did cast in all that she had, even all her living.
Right, so she actually had a heart to really truly give. And even though she didn't have as much as everybody else did, Son of Man took note of that and been like, man, check her out. She don't have nothing, and a little bit she had through her faith, she was able to put that in. Wow. Awesome. Let's go on to 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians 9th chapter.
Oh, Greece.
Huh?
We going to Greece with
See what the church is talking about. 2 Corinthians, the 9th chapter, and verse 6.
2 Corinthians 9, verse 6.
Uh-huh.
But this I say, he which sows sparingly shall reap also sparingly, and he which sows bountifully shall reap also bountifully.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Straight
And
up.
that's the reason why, just speaking for myself, what I do for the kingdom, what I do just in service of Yah, I try not to fret it, because I feel like whatever the Father blessed me with, it don't belong to me in the first place. That's the way I look at it. It's almost just like when you pay tithe, when you pay taxes. You get your check, the taxes already taken out. You don't really think like, damn, I wish I could get my taxes back, whatever. But the truth of the matter is that taxes still have their place.
Yeah.
They still have their place. They still have their function. Some of us get most of it back at the end of the year anyway, but be it as it may, it has its place. And matter of fact, we're not gonna read this, but that's what Yahshua said when he said, hey, you render to Caesar what you render to Yah was Yah. Mm-hmm. I didn't even have this in here, but I thought about it and I used that example. But at 2 Corinthians 9th chapter, he's absolutely real about this. He which soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly, and he which soweth bountifully shall reap also bountifully. So anyway, going back to that brother again, and I'm just thinking about how all of us have got that point where it's so natural for us to have class and free library, have classes in our homes or whatever. It's like you only do that because you don't want to really put the work in for there to be a ministry where people can come. So when you have it in your home, what you gonna do? You gonna advertise your home address? For people to come through, and then anybody come through, and all their home is really for you. Like when was it David or Solomon? One of them, I think it was David, said, look, man, I got a house, but the Most High don't even have a house. I live in a house, but he ain't even got a house. So I need to focus on trying to get a house for him. Forget my house. My house for my house. That's where I lay my head. Father, he needs a house where the people can come through. And matter of fact, that just made me think of something else. What was that at? That's in First Kings, the 9th chapter. Hold on. Let me see if I can remember it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's chapter 8.
Yeah. But it was something in there, because I had read it earlier, but I didn't have it in class. Yeah, First Kings 8. Oh, what I want to might be 7. If I can't find it, I ain't gonna worry about it. But it reads something about how the people gave this stuff toward the house, and how they were happy and Father blessed them, or something like that. I kind of read it past, but I didn't put it down in the lesson. But this is really the true worship of the Most High, though. When his people come together, keeping the commandments, they give toward the work, and it's just a beautiful thing. And that's how we were when we were the righteous nation. I can't find that right. So we're gonna move right along. Let's go into where are we at this now? Second, let's go on to First Corinthians. Again, the 9th chapter. Again, y'all, this is short. So I was like, man, look, I got a long drive, so we ain't gonna be all day. Get here a little bit earlier. First Corinthians 9th chapter. And
11.
that is 11. I was seeing how far up I want to go though. Start at verse 9. I'm gonna have to start at verse 9.
First Corinthians 9:9.
Right.
What is written in the law of Shemaiah, thou shalt not muzzle the mouth of the ox that tread out the corn. If Elohim take care of his oxen, and say he all together for our sakes, no doubt this is written, that he that plows should plow in hope, and that he that thresh in hope shall be partaker of his hope. If we have sown into you spiritual things, is it a great thing if we shall reap your carnal things? If others be partakers of this power over you, are not we rather? Nevertheless, we have not used this power, but suffer all things, lest we should hinder the gospel of Mashiach.
Hallelujah. Anybody understand what we just read there? Anybody need an explanation of that?
Yeah, we're going to break it down.
Huh? Oh, okay. Well, he said at the very top, where it's written in the law of Shemaiah, thou shalt not muzzle the mouth of the ox that tread out the corn, but do Elohim take care of the oxen? So the oxen is working, doing the work. And you don't cause that ox to suffer. You feed into the work. He said, or said he all together for our sakes. Was that written for our sake? He said, for our sakes, no doubt this is written, that he that ploweth should plow in hope. And he that thresheth, he's still using the ox analogy, that threshing hope should be partaker of his hope. He said, if we have sown unto you spiritual things, and we all, every Shabbat, glean spiritual things, keeping a spiritual Shabbat. He said, is it a great thing that we shall reap your carnal things? Because all of us have our role to play in this work that is being put forth for the Most High. Okay, and he said, if others be partakers of this power over you, and others are. So look where we spend our money. Some things we spend on stuff that don't profit nothing. Some profit more than others. But that's what we do. He said, if others be partakers of this power over you, are not we rather? You know, should not the ministry of the Most High be able to have something that we continue to build? Is what he's basically saying. You know, so that was him putting that together for people to understand that this is something that we all build, so that it all points toward the building of the kingdom, spreading of this gospel.
Grab a brick.
Huh?
Grab a brick.
Yeah, man, come on. Okay. All right, Matthew the 19th chapter. We read this one a lot. Now we're going to read this one in this specific context. Because everything that we read, man, it teaches so many things within this context. Matthew the 19th chapter. Matthew 19th chapter. And let's start this at verse 15. Usually I'm kind of long-winded on this one because it's some real deep stuff going on right here. But I'm going to go directly to the point. Matthew 19 and verse 15.
Okay.
Yep.
19:16 of Matthew. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And he said unto him, Why call thou me good? There is none good but one, that is Elohim. But if you will enter into life, keep the commandments.
Right. And see, the only reason why he said that, because he spirit that this brother was coming in. Matter of fact, see, that's something we just read in Sirach about what your enemy do and how he come with kind words. Then we just read that. As y'all my witness, I don't read this before I do the lesson, but it's just weird how we it brings out something that just happens to be part of the lesson. And he like, look, he like, good master. And he like, okay, see, you trying to put me on elevation because you want to feel like you're good as well. That's what we as Israelites do, y'all. We can catch that self-righteous thing real quick, right? Like the brother, hey man, it's crazy to see cats people be celebrating Christmas and doing all this stuff on this folly day. I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah. Right. You know, like, we so much better than them. So much better than them. So we come to the master. And then the question is like, you know, I don't want to talk to you about football, whatever. I want to come to you because I really want to know, how can I get eternal life? I want you to know that I'm real serious about wanting to get this. He peeped them because I do believe that if it had been a different person with a different spirit, he probably wouldn't have corrected them the way he corrected them. Huh? So it's just deep. But even first thing, look, first of all, why call it thou me good? What's on your mind? You know what I'm saying? What's really going on that you want to put this thing on me? Why you calling me good? Ain't none good but one. So I'm not even calling myself good. So if I'm not good, you sure enough ain't good. You know? Huh? Yeah. Relax. Calm down. But there's one good, and that is the Father, Elohim. But to answer your question, if you were into the life, keep the commandment. Go ahead.
He said unto him, which?
Right.
Yeshua said, thou shalt do no murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness. Honor your father and your mother, and thou shalt love your neighbor as yourself.
Now, who knows if he said all 10 or what? We don't know. We can only read what's given, right? But we know that these are part of the 10 Commandments. Okay? And see, this is just me, and I shouldn't be like this. Don't be like me. Don't be like this. I have no patience for stupid questions. Yes, there are stupid questions. Don't hear me say that and y'all be scared to ask the question. Please don't.
I ain't gonna say nothing else.
Don't do that. But I'm just, come on, man. You're a Hebrew. You know what commandments I'm talking about. You're a Hebrew. I don't even know you, but that's on your doorpost. That's on your neighbor's doorpost. We watch the 10 Commandments every year. No, I'm just tripping. But seriously, which commandment? Man, thou shalt eat Captain Crunch every third Sunday. Come on, man. He came with his craziness, and then he still. I just don't have. I don't have patience for it. I should, and if the Father's working me with it, I think he should. But this is a good example of that. But he said, "Look, thou should do no murder." He probably said it just like, "Thou should do no murder. Thou should not commit adultery." Disciples in the background going, yada, yada, yada. Verse 20.
The young man said unto him, all these things I have kept from my youth up. What I'm missing?
There go that stuff righteous. He came on the scene. Oh, really? Really? Man, look, come on. You ain't saying nothing but a word, man. I don't get out of my bed unless I think about these 10 commandments. Or these 5 commandments. And this been from my youth up. From the first time I was able to talk, this is what I have been doing. So you might not be good, but I'm good. Man, I've been doing this thing. Go ahead.
Yeshua said unto him, you trying to be perfect, go and sell what you got
Right.
and give to the poor. And thou shalt have treasure in heaven. Come follow me.
So when he said to give, sell what you got and give it to the poor, because he like, look, you don't know that I know, but you really, really, really try to keep everything to yourself. You love the fact that you're rich. You love the fact that you got means or whatever. You want to be perfect? And he's letting us know you're not just perfect because you're just keeping these 10 commandments. So the most vilest person in the world, I mean, vile by spirit, can still go through the motions. Still come every Shabbat. Because I'm doing it by tradition, really. I'm doing Shabbat by tradition. You know, you have a thing with your mom and you ain't saying that, but you like, I would cuss your ass out when I'm keeping it. And see that in itself is wicked. Because that's what you're thinking. Like, man, I'm trying to say it's the spirit. Yeah, we get mad at our parents sometimes, but we don't think of it in that same aspect, you know, like thinking evil, but you're going to verbalize something to stay within the guidelines of this culture that you're keeping. I'm saying, you know, there's people that even give money and still be wicked. You see? But there's a righteous spirit that we all have to really grasp after. And in one way we do that, we have to identify our own shortcomings. So we all have shortcomings. Every last one of us is keeping these commandments. You know, I'm gonna be like one of the disciples, say, I am the chief of shortcomings. But I don't justify the shortcomings. I work to try to deliver myself from those shortcomings. There you go. There you go. But that's what he said. He's like, look, you want to be perfect because you think you're perfect, but sell all that you got and give. Do that. But see, when you do that, now you done overcame that shortcoming that you're dealing with. Right. Oh, please read that.
21.
Yeah. No, 22.
Oh, keep going.
Uh-huh.
But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful. But he had a lot of stuff.
Right, he had great. So he wasn't as good as he thought he was. Up until this point, this dude thought he was the best thing smoking. And now I'm coming to the master. I want to secure this thing. Look, man. Matter of fact, I want you to justify me and tell me, brother, you ain't got nothing to worry about, man. Your name is already written in the book of life. Oh, he probably wouldn't have said that, but like, oh, I know it is. I just want to do it.
That's that pride. That's that pride.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I know that.
Yeah, I know it is, man. I just needed some confirmation there.
Yeah.
Good man.
For real.
Right,
Boost
right.
my ego a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
So Yahshua hit him hard with that, and he hit him hard. He's like, oh man. And he went away sorrowful. Well, he had great possession. Yeah, he got you right where you at. Just like that woman. Yeah, you got 5 husbands. That one you with now, not even your husband. Yahshua, he what's the word Wendy Williams used? Tonda? What's that word they use? Well, a shade.
Oh,
He was a master shader. He shaded. I should have said Real Housewives of Atlanta. Shade. He was a king of shade. He was. You said well, you don't have husbands. Well, you have 5. Well, he said you said good. I don't say it's good you have no husbands. You had 5 of them. And that cat that you with?
Ain't even your man.
Nope. Nope. See, that right there kills that doctrine more. If you got sex with him, whatever, you married to him.
why does she have 5 husbands?
Huh?
Why?
I don't know. It could, well, the way reads is almost like it was like, and y'all can share because I'm not sure. I'm gonna say I'm not sure. To me, it almost sounded like she was married and he get divorced, married, get divorced, married, get divorced. I don't know. Maybe somebody else might can think of.
Well, you know, what's the scripture that Orlando said, the Most High said, I see every man in his neighbor's wife. Because I think we're running in and out of these relationships. And in the beginning, when you a virgin and you that person is supposed to be with you for life. Right. So you might have been in and out of the
Right.
relationship.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
That's
not
very
outside.
deep because I was working and I was training on this new system that we got at our job. So guy was, I guess, training me on the system. We listened to the radio and they talked about Jennifer Aniston. You know, in Hollywood, that's what they do for. It's almost like they make the headlines by the new relationship that they're in. You know, like Jennifer Aniston and David, whatever his name, the Covey, whatever his name, like they are item or whatever. Like, how does that work? You know, this is France. And they supposed to have been like the ultimate couple. So we sitting there hoping, why don't they get together? We love them. They love each other. You know, and now they supposed to be dating. After they done seen themselves go through. That's crazy to me. Crazy to me. Just like here's another one. You know, Nick Cannon. He's like that. You know, he's like that specifically with Mariah. You know, I don't know, that's just deep. Because you got children by this woman, and then y'all done broke up. Both of y'all done saw each other go through different relationships.
Like,
Oh, yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
She's the what did you say?
like 10
Well, yeah, and that notwithstanding, see, then that's a whole nother thing altogether. But you're absolutely right. That's a whole nother thing already. But yeah, you're right. That's the queen right there, boy. That's the queen, man. You know, and using her for example again, you know, and all of a sudden you in love with what's his name? What's his name? Huh? Affleck.
Ben
Affleck, yeah.
Ben Affleck.
So what? He's a new person than he was 20 dudes ago.
Maybe.
Whatever.
Growth.
Because
There's growth.
Mark, whatever, he was the love of life, you know, like, man, you know, Mark Anthony, you know.
Oh, but the daughter actually told her after her report that her one guy was
And that's something, that's crazy.
Crazy.
Wow. And then you have children, and you probably forgot who, oh, wait, your father, oh, I thought, no, that's not your father. Come on. What do your children think about when they see their mom being run through every year? I'm sorry.
That's the truth.
It's the truth. I mean, stuff happens, but the way y'all do it is like on a whole nother level. A whole nother level. Give her the next year, she'll be with P. Diddy or whatever his name would be.
She going backwards.
Huh?
Going backwards on the list.
Oh, she went up, now she's going back. Man, it's crazy. But yeah, we were just talking about when Yahshua had told the woman, look, you said right, you have no husband. Because you had 5 husbands. And the guy you with now, he ain't your husband. All right. Man.
You want to keep going on that?
Oh, you must want me to keep going on that. Is that what it is?
I'm saying to close it out.
Go ahead.
What Yahshua said, so 23. Then said Yahshua unto his disciples, truly I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. And again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of Elohim.
Oh, hallelujah, I didn't read that. That's awesome, right? Because, man, we think this money, and there's a scripture do, you know, say money answer everything, but there's a concept to that. said that the love of money is the root of all evil.
And then it says that he make rich and add no sorrow. So it's like flip sides. Everything. If you love it, you're gonna reap the it's two different benefits you get.
Right.
Everybody ain't ready for that money.
No.
True that. Uh-huh.
I was trying to see what y'all at.
Oh,
Matthew 19.
yeah, we just finished Matthew the 19th chapter. We stopped at the 24th verse, okay? All right. Let's go on to Acts the 19th. Oh, the title of this is man, I'm gonna make one up off the spot. Support your local ministry, y'all. You know, and I'm not even speaking just for this ministry here. I'm talking about wherever you're being fed spiritually. Give on. Wherever you got it, wherever you're being fed spiritually, it ain't for me to tell you how much this, that, you know. They're just saying, man, dedicate just a little something and say, man, that's going there. That's going there. That's going there. Dedicate, man, because this is what the Father loves and He requires. As a matter of fact, we're gonna read some of that.
You know what? I just thought about this. What me and my brother read last night in Acts 10. Cornelius, he was a devout man.
Oh,
remember his arms went up to the Most High. Prayers arms.
Oh, shoot. Oh, golly, man, you getting it.
And get what? The other day, right? I'm out here at the store, and the homeless lady, you know, she asked for 50 cents, man. But I wasn't gonna just give her 50 cents. I said, you finna have to sit here and be spiritual, man. I had to do that script to her every time, every minute she sat there, I gave her $1, you feel me?
How much you make?
$2.
I thought you were like $50.
No, $2.
And see, that's also something else because it would be good, and we started to do this, we just stopped doing this. If we could, you know, have food here every Shabbat, people can know that when we come here to class, we also got food. I don't know why we stopped doing this, but we need that. When people come in, they know, man, got a plate to eat. Yeah, right. Fellowship, get your questions asked. You know, because we ain't got no problem doing open forum because we've always did open forum. So ain't nobody gonna come and be like, damn, what? I didn't quite understand what they were talking about, but it's all good though. I did my part. I can't. That's all they. Acts the 19th chapter, y'all. Acts 19th chapter. I think I wrote down the wrong chapter, y'all. Bear with me just for a second. You know what? I had to revisit that chapter. I think I wrote down the wrong chapter. I'm sorry. I wrote down the wrong chapter. Bear with me one moment. All right. Well, we'll get that another time, y'all. Let's go into Proverbs 3rd chapter, y'all. And look, this is it. Unless somebody got something else to add, this is it. I told you I was going to be short. Shorter than short. Somebody give me a time. What's the time?
2:00.
Man, I hit it right on the head. 2:00. Usually we start at 2, but we were earlier today, y'all. We were earlier today. Just a little bit earlier today. I'm getting 2:00. That brother don't know how to tell time, so I'm gonna break it down to him. Proverbs the 3rd chapter, y'all. Proverbs 3rd. No, not Acts. I wrote it down wrong. But believe me, whatever I was gonna read in Acts, it went right on the line with everything else he was doing. Proverbs 3rd chapter. Let's start this at verse 7.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 7.
Matter of fact, I'm sorry. Start at verse 1. This is our last one. Start at verse.
Proverbs chapter 3, starting at the top. My son, forget not my law, but let thy heart keep my commandments.
Which commandment?
I'm like, oh,
That's why I like what Yeshua said, and what they said that in Matthew the 5th chapter. Huh? Whosoever shall break the least of these commandments. That's what he should have told that dude too. Whosoever shall break the least of these commandments and teach men to do so shall be called the least. He said not only you breaking them, but you teaching other people to break the least of the commandments. Why don't Christians understand that part? That's what makes them what they are, breaking the commandments. I'm a breaker of the commandments. Yeah, boy, I'm a Christian. He said, my son, forget not my law, but let thy heart keep my commandments. Go ahead.
for length of days and long life and peace shall they add to you. Let not mercy and truth forsake you. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of your heart. Sounds like a new covenant. So shalt thou find favor.
Man.
So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of Elohim and man. Trust in Yahuwah with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding.
Real quick, check this out. That was funny when you said that because I had did a video the other day about the 400 years. And I was replying to this other guy that did a whole video about the 400 years. Like 400 years applying us. So I did the whole breakdown of how it ain't applying us. It applies to our ancestors that was there for 400 years. Right. And when I was breaking it down, I got called, you a Christian, man. You Christian. I'm like, but there's nothing I'm bringing out that's not that we couldn't read. So this is how you want to label me because you disagree with what I'm bringing you. So that made me think about that. And this was just, matter of fact, it was just yesterday, right before Flood went down, you know. And the dude was kind of, I'm going to say this though, the dude was kind of cool. He was a ministry out in California called the Salt of the Earth. And I got to give this dude credit though. He tried to rebuke my video by literally playing the whole video in the video. Trying to break and it was crazy. And so he had asked for me to come on, and I didn't come on because of my conversation with him. I could tell that he wasn't really listening to what I was saying. And so I hate vain conversation. Like I said, I don't like vain conversation. I like, if I deal with somebody, I'm gonna know full well what your doctrine is, why you believe what you believe, and where you got it from. I'm not just gonna have an opinion and be like, oh, I don't like that because I just feel like I don't like that. No, bro. The thing is, this is what you missed in line upon line. Either that, or I'm just not gonna deal with it. Mm-hmm. There are some people that have doctrines that I might not have ever heard of before, and if I never heard of it before, I can't answer to it, or either I can't even have an opinion on it. So I don't know nothing about it. Keep my mouth shut. But anyway, and that's what the brother did, man. So I was gonna jump on, but I didn't jump on. I'm like, he's playing my video. Let the video play. But then at the end, he had said that I said something that I did say, and then I jumped on. It was Friday. They didn't think I was gonna jump on. They were calling me now. Oh, he didn't jump on because he knew that he was wrong. He didn't jump on because this, that, the other. I said, no, I ain't jumping on because I can't speak better than you playing my video. Right. Huh? See, because some people just like that confusion. Mm-hmm. Like that confusion. Like, for instance, he had quoted a passage. I'm just using this as an example. No, I ain't going to go into that. But it was deep, though. But this that out.
Verse 6. In all your ways acknowledge him, he shall direct your path.
Wow, we have to acknowledge the Father in all our ways. That's what he will direct. Because sometimes we just don't know what to do. We have decisions to make about some things, and we be like, man. And I used to question that myself when people say, I'll let the Lord tell me what's going to be. I'm like, oh, you're going to like speak to you, you're going to hear his voice or whatever it is. But the Father do speak to us. He do speak to us. He absolutely, just like I said, I'm sitting here and I'm listening to one, okay, should I do this lesson or maybe I'll just do another lesson? And then we reading out of Sirach. I'm like, God, oh, that done hit me in my head yet again. The Father has a way of speaking to
Every
us.
Shabbat.
Huh? But every
Shabbat.
Shabbat. But he has a way of speaking. When we're at a crossroads, something will pop out. He would call something to pop out.
So we witnessed you. We witnessed him speaking to you. He over here like this.
Oh, you saw I did that? Yeah. I like,
he in my head.
Yeah. No, but he done did that to all y'all too.
Yeah.
He done did that to all y'all. You can't tell me that the Father was y'all when you was like, man. And all of a sudden he bring to mind something that you would have never thought about on your own unless the Father pulled it out of you and been like, man, let's see.
The third guy spoke 2 days.
Yeah,
Right! Right!
That's scary, bro.
See, cause look, I had to go out of town, so we started earlier today. We started at like 12:45 or something like that. Or as she would say, 1, 2, 4, 5. But anyway, and we said, man, we forgot to tell him to come earlier. And when you called him, he's like, man, I'm outside. You don't never be in this early. But that was the Most High.
Yeah.
That had you right here. You thought you were gonna come in and wasn't gonna be nobody here but me and Tonda, probably.
Yeah. I was like, let me talk to him for a little bit.
Right. The Father does that, though. He does that to all of us that's serving him in spirit and truth because he tries the heart. He does. Okay, go ahead. Where we at?
Verse 7.
Yeah.
Be not wise in your own eyes, for Yahuwah, fear Yahuwah, and depart from evil.
Right. Because we have some evil tendencies to believe that, without us even thinking about it, we'd be like, oh man, you know what? I shouldn't even allow myself to get caught up in that crazy. It could be something simple, it could be something hard. Prayerfully it's something simple, but whatever it is, he say, be not wise in thine own eyes. That also can apply to, again, when we transgress. Tell that little white lie.
Oh.
But then instead of repenting of it, we try to. See, the reason why I did that was because I just didn't want to be bothered or whatever.
Yeah,
we justify.
Yeah, sometimes.
Right. Instead of humping ourselves, like,
Father, forgive me.
Father, forgive me.
I shouldn't have did that.
Right. Just like our father David, man. Just like him, man. When David came, because David, see, sometimes when you get into a heavy sin, like the way David was under that heavy sin, it can wrap you up on a whole. It can.
Yeah.
I've been wrapped up like that before. And believe me, you couldn't tell me out of it. Well, you probably could have. But I'm just saying, it was hard for me to see away from it because of my desires or whatever. I'm into this thing. And man, it's like David was, man, this woman was beautiful. Looking at this woman, there's no reason in the world, and they was my king of Israel should not have this woman.
That's right.
She looked better than all of my wives, all of my concubines, and a Canaanite got the woman. Everybody should be happy. I don't kill him for principle's sake.
Damn, that's crazy.
Don't mind me, y'all know how I do it, but that's where he was at. Then Nathan came and then the Spirit of YAH spoke to him raw and uncut through a parable, y'all. Through a parable. You gotta be a soft answer turns away wrath.
Yeah.
Nathan could have been in his mind, he could have been mad. I don't believe this dude called himself the king, serving the Most High, to do something like this. He could have been raging, but he didn't allow that rage to speak to the king. And now there would have been sin upon sin upon sin. Huh? Sin upon sin upon sin. Yeah. So, but it was the Father that gave Nathan that spirit. You see? Nathan probably, like I said, scratch his head like, I don't know how I'm gonna tell him.
Man, you know what? That remind me of 2 weeks ago with Joe 32 and Ellie Hoop. And I was just telling you with my siblings last night about, man, what he's saying, us not using our own eyes, but we got to chase that rule, you know what I'm saying? And let that divine wisdom lead us. Like Ellie Hoop, he didn't speak when he went.
Right.
He knew exactly when to speak.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And how they exactly come. You feel me? So that we'll go on those scriptures last
Right.
night about when to speak.
Right.
You feel me?
Right. Right.
Man,
Right.
it's like when the Ruach got highlighted in what it was, Galatians, temperance, you know what I'm saying, self-control. That played hand in hand with that too.
Yeah.
Job
Yeah.
32.
Yeah. Yep. So the thing again, but going back to David, when Nathan flowed out with that spirit, what did David do, boy? David got mad at the dude that did the very thing that he did. He pretty much was like death to that man.
Yeah.
That man live another second, I'll be the one at the wrong. And my man said, "You are that man." You couldn't have cut him no better.
From here to
Right. Like the young ruler. The young ruler came pimping.
Yeah.
Good master. Me and you.
Grand master.
Everybody else, not as much. But he went away sorrowful. His whole reality was changed in that conversation. All right, well, he said, but yeah, be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear Yahuwah and depart from evil. Go ahead.
It shall be health to your neighbor, marrow to the bone. That's quote. Honor Yahuwah with thy substance.
Right. Substance. Honor him with your substance, man. Father bless you. We're back to him. Not all of it back to him, but I'm just saying, show the Father that you are thankful, pretty much. Gratitude. Just like in the law, just like this, and I didn't have this in here, but there's ordinance that when we are under a certain ailment, like leprosy or something, Yahshua, as an example, Yahshua healed the dude. And then he like, go show yourself to the priest and pay whatever it was that's required in the law to pay the priest. That's what the law was. And he was like, you don't even give it to me because lawfully in that aspect, I'm not supposed to really take it. Because that's the law don't require it, but the law says you have to pay it to the priest in that sense. Even though the priest wasn't the one that healed, he was the one that healed. So the point is that that's a law that you could say is a law of gratitude. Huh? You understand what I'm saying? That's what it is.
But going to that piggybacking off that healing, going to the priest.
Yeah.
It's like people, why we not going to the man of the Most High instead of going to the doctor? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's backwards.
Right.
I mean, granted, there is positions out there that we should see, but at the same time, it's a spiritual thing, not a natural thing. And understand that it's that someone's like, okay, cool. Understand you can move stuff in the spirit realm.
Right.
And then
And see, and that's and now in this day and age, it's more crucial than anything, man. Because these doctors, man, it's like we really got to put our minds to the mind of Yah. Understand what he put in his creation to deliver us from whatever it is, man. Because these doctors and all these pharmaceutical
witchcraft.
What is it called? Drug sorcerers.
Sorcerers, right. It's killing us, man.
Yeah.
And we falling it. Hook, line, and sinker for it because of a lack of knowledge, which is what our people perish. The lack of knowledge. That's heavy. This day and age, it's just on a whole nother level.
It is.
A whole nother level, man.
Depending on Mother Earth.
Most of us knew that passage for how many years you know that passage? Now we live in a time where it's like that passage and all of a sudden took on a whole new
dynamic.
dynamic. Right. Dynamic. Right. But he said, honor Yahuwah with our substance. And did you finish that?
Honor Yahuwah with our substance and with the first fruits of all your increase.
With the first fruit. And that goes all the way back to Abel. Goes all the way back to Abel, man. Abel had all of these cattle and animals. And he's like, hey, give him the first fruits to the Most High. Oh, I missed one. Where is that at when it said about the cheerfully? I thought I wrote it down.
Y'all love the cheerful giver.
Yeah. I thought I
Is
wrote
that,
it down.
no, that's more. Is that Malachi? Yeah, it's Malachi.
I thought I had wrote that down.
Man, all these go hand in hand with them high holy days, man.
Huh? Oh.
Oh, I was like the other one.
Yeah, that didn't sound like Old Testament to me. I like.
No, I was thinking about that verse.
How did I not write that one down?
I was thinking about that one verse they use, should a man rob God?
Y'all going to
Right. Yeah. 2 Corinthians, what chapter is that?
9 and 7.
Oh.
9,
Oh yeah, one verse.
And we was there earlier.
Y'all can go there now.
Yeah. Is that 1 Corinthians? Oh no, 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians. I thought we had read out of this chapter. Oh, I didn't read that one verse. I didn't read that one verse. Go back there.
Start at verse 6.
Yeah, you can read verse 6 again. Right.
2 Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 6. But this I say, he which sow sparingly shall reap also sparingly, and he which sow bountifully shall reap also bountifully. Every man according as his purpose in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or of necessity. For Elohim love a cheerful giver.
There it is. There it is, y'all. Anyway, that is our lesson for the day, y'all. Short but sweet. I hope y'all got something out of it, y'all. Man, let's do what we can within our powers to keep our doors open, y'all. Because it's getting crazy. Real crazy. But anyway, anybody got anything to add? Anything they want to share? Anything? Go ahead, elder brother. Uh-huh.
I used to say, I keep the Sabbath. I keep the feast day. I heard the Father say, Kevin, I said I will put my law in your heart and my spirit. I should have killed you a long time ago. I thought I was going to all that, but we don't keep the law. That's without it being in our heart, right?
Should be.
Yeah, that's right.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right. If anybody ain't got nothing else to add, y'all, we're going to stand up and close out.
I thought you were going to hit that Leviticus 23.
I was.
Yeah.
I was, but I didn't want to get into that yet concerning he said give as you are able to, something like that on the feast
Actually, I
day.
was talking about the point when you reaping the harvest.
Yeah. Oh no, okay. But it was something else in there on top of
Given, it should be given unto
what
you.
you
Pressed down,
read.
shaking together, running over, shall.
Akishan. Close out. Yeah.
Yahuwah, Elohim of Abraham, Isaac,
Yes. Yes.
thank you right now for come out for letting you rock. Thank you right now for the gathering that you provided us. Come to seek truth. We ask you right now to keep the gathering strong, keep blessing us. We ask right now that all the needs of this house are provided for, so that we might continue to come here and learn your ways. As we leave here, we ask you to protect each one of the members, take them to their dwelling safety, and bring them back for another spot. All these things we ask for your holy name. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Yeah. Praise God. All right.
Oh, okay.
Man, I heard you been blessed up here.
Oh, yeah, right, man. That's
That's what's up. That's what's up. I thought it was very Saturday night.
Well, 30.
What's up,
Been a
man?
minute, man.
Yeah, man. How you been?
Maintaining, bro.
That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
Man. It should be about 3-4.
Something. I don't know. Try to end it.
I'm sorry, my bad. Yeah, this is actually a different phone.
Okay.
In stream.